welcome to Rich Frontiers, where we dive into finance, tech, and, well, just about everything shaping our world today. I'm Jenna Park.
And I'm Ethan Caldwell. Jenna, you're way too humble. Let's add seasoned investor, storyteller, and the queen of seeing market patterns.
Oh, thank you, Ethan. But I think we're a pretty good team. You bring the fast paced energy, the rapid fire analysis, and honestly, the ability to make finance, dare I say, exciting.
Ha, well, someone's got to keep the game lively. So, what's on our radar today?
We're breaking down the latest move by the FCC, the Federal Communications Commission, for those of you not hanging out in Washington, and how they're tackling new cybersecurity threats.
Right, specifically China. The risks we've been seeing, have seriously ramped up lately.
Exactly. It's a complex story, but one that has huge implications for tech and national security. So, picking up from that, let's break down what the FCC is doing here. They're essentially trying to fortify our telecommunications networks against escalating cyber incursions, specifically the ones tied to Chinese actors. It's a pretty significant move in the tech and policy space.
Yeah, and this isn't just about making systems a bit stronger or, slapping on a software patch. This is like an entire restructuring.
Right. They're teaming up with major telecom providers to improve resilience. We're talking new protocols for sharing cyber threat intelligence, a step that could, theoretically, close some pretty significant gaps in our defenses.
And let's name some names here. Players like AT&T and Verizon are adapting fast. They're restructuring their cybersecurity approaches to align with these new FCC directives. It's big.
What's interesting is that this initiative also encourages a more collaborative framework. It's almost like, how do I put this? It's setting an example for how industries can work together in times of growing threats.
Sure. But collaboration's not exactly their default setting, right? Telecoms can be pretty cutthroat, so this sort of approach is, well, it's a shift.
Exactly. And the shift is critical. These new frameworks mean that companies won't just react to breaches anymore. They'll proactively share information, real time intelligence, to avoid vulnerabilities in the first place.
Which is a game changer. But let's also not ignore the fact that we're still playing catch up in many ways. The Chinese cyber threat is evolving, and it's not slowing down anytime soon.
Continuing from that shift in approach we mentioned, the influence of Chinese cyber actors isn't just confined to telecom systems or tactical defenses. It pushes nations to rethink their entire security frameworks. And, honestly, this tension seems to seep deeper into the realms of trade and tech competition, forcing more proactive alliances and strategies.
Oh, absolutely. And these aren't isolated incidents. It's a coordinated strategy by Chinese actors. They're using espionage, cyber theft, you name it, to gain an upper hand, especially in strategic sectors like technology and critical infrastructure.
You're right. This whole situation really escalated around 2018. That was the year Wall Street began to realize just how much espionage fears could disrupt tech investments. Companies suddenly started holding back on deals or diversifying supply chains. Do you remember how jittery the markets were?
Oh, yeah, I remember. It was like Pandora's box had opened. Everyone started scrambling, looking over their shoulders, questioning partnerships. And let's not forget, this wasn't just a U.S. issue. Other regions were watching closely.
Exactly. International responses to these cybersecurity issues have been fascinating to compare. Take Europe, for instance. They've adopted frameworks with stricter privacy standards like GDPR, but they also collaborate on cybersecurity through initiatives like ANISA, which works as almost like a central hub for information sharing.
Right? And then you've got ASEAN countries taking more of a regional approach, encouraging tech innovation while tackling cybercrime with cooperative measures. It's like watching different chess strategies play out.
And these differences really show how countries balance competing interests, economic growth versus national security. In Europe, they emphasize privacy alongside resilience. For ASEAN, it's about ramping up capacity building while staying open to foreign tech investments.
Which is where we kind of see the U.S. trying to catch up in some respects. The FCC's actions are important, yeah, but if we're still facing breaches at this rate, it feels like we're always one step behind the aggressors. It's interesting how the FCC's actions are shaping not just cybersecurity, but also strategies in tech investment. With such global competition, it makes you wonder, Which sectors could truly come out ahead?
Cybersecurity, absolutely. Companies like Palo Alto Networks or CrowdStrike are gearing up to tackle these changes head on. They're prime examples of how industry leaders align themselves with federal initiatives. And, that can be pretty reassuring for investors.
Yeah, reassuring, but not without risks. The volatility in tech markets this is creating, especially with shifting U.S. policies and sanctions, it's no joke. Startup valuations could go haywire depending on how regulations pan out. Investors need to tread carefully here.
Exactly. It's all about scrutinizing the fundamentals. Good venture capitalists, well, they're already looking at startups that specialize in things like digital infrastructure security. They're making bets on innovators who can adapt and thrive under these new regulatory pressures.
Right. And that's where I think the next wave of opportunity lies, staying ahead of the unpredictability, spotting the players that have strategic partnerships or scalable solutions. That's the sweet spot.
But it's not simple. You've got to ask yourself not just what's the potential upside, but also what am I risking because of policy whiplash? These US moves can introduce unexpected market volatility that makes even the best plans tricky to execute.
Totally. And that's why risk management needs to be, intertwined with your growth strategy, especially now. With cyber defense investment growing, the chance to build a portfolio that supports innovation while hedging against geopolitical uncertainty, it's rare, but doable.
And I think it speaks to a bigger idea we've explored today: how intertwined technology, policy, security, and investing really are. They're not individual threads anymore. It's like this massive, evolving tapestry of challenges and opportunities.
Exactly. And that wraps it up for us. We've covered a lot: FCC initiatives, the role of China, geopolitical dynamics, and now how all this shapes investment strategies. It's been intense, but honestly, kind of exciting too.
It really has. And for everyone listening, don't just tune out after the end of this episode. Keep researching, keep questioning, because the financial world isn't slowing down anytime soon.
And that's why we're here, Jenna, to make sense of it all. All right, thanks for joining us, folks. Same time next episode?
Absolutely. Take care, everyone.